this time, the gentleman from New Jersey.
Mr. Speaker, I yield 4 minutes to the distinguished gentleman from Nebraska, a member of the Appropriations Committee, but also one of the sponsors of the legislation before us.
Gentleman from Nebraska is recognized for 4 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. First of all, let me thank my friend and colleague, Chairman Chris Smith, for his steadfast leadership on this issue, this important bill, as well as so many other concerns that affect vulnerable persons around the world. And again, Congressman Smith, you rightly point out that Dr. Raj Shah, the agency director for the United States Agency for International Development, has been steadfast in his leadership on this as well and deserves a tremendous amount of credit. Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to support this important bipartisan initiative to save the lives of hurting people around the world. The United States has a decade-long history on food security, and this act, the Global Food Security Act, also known as Feed the Future, it really does three things. It saves lives, it creates sustainable development throughout the world, and it strengthens our own national security by stopping the underlying problems that lead to international instability. Mr. Speaker, Americans are the most generous people in the world. This bill continues our tradition of generosity in a smart, whole-of-government approach that combines the goodwill of the private sector as well as charities for a 21st century approach to development aid. Feed the Future is one of the most cost-effective and results-oriented international development initiatives that we have championed to date. It is the right thing to do. Now, Mr. Speaker, many of the some estimated 800 million people throughout the world who suffer from chronic hunger rely on agriculture to make a living. And back in 2007 and 2008, we launched this response to the global food crisis by helping to bring self-sufficiency to struggling agricultural communities worldwide. By working together with partner countries who are investing and taking responsibility for their own success, what started out as a modest program has developed into a serious global commitment to end hunger and improve nutrition standards, especially for vulnerable women and their children. In 2013 alone, market-based agricultural productivity initiatives funded by Congress have reached more than 12.5 million children with good nutrition and helped some 7 million farmers leverage new agricultural technologies on nearly 10 million acres of land. Importantly, as well, Feed the Future has leveraged more than $10 billion in private sector investment, the majority from African businesses. Mr. Speaker, I urge my colleagues to support this very thoughtful measure, which has earned broad-based support from the U.S. agricultural sector, universities nationwide, faith-based non-governmental organizations, as well as private enterprise. We will never regret the good we can do in helping feed the hungry, and the return on this investment will surely compound to the benefit of future generations in perhaps ways we can never measure. So to everyone who has been involved here, to my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, I want to thank you all for working in such a bipartisan spirit to get this important bill done. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I yield back.
Gentleman from Nebraska yields back the balance.